Welcome to Fly Tying Step by Step. Today we will be tying a more classic Czech nymph caddis pattern, and for that we are going to use a size 10 hook. We are going to weight it with lead sheet that I just cut a millimeter or so in width. So to start off, we start wrapping the lead onto the hook. Start at the back and advancing to the front. Touching wraps, and then don't go all the way up to the eye of the hook, break off, and now you start again. This time not at the same point, just a wrap or so later from your first starting point. Touching turns, stop a little bit short. The reason for this is that we want to create a tapered body on both ends of the fly. So this helps us to create the tapered body as well as weighting the fly. Thread, I'm going to use black in a 6/0. So we don't put the wraps of thread underneath the lead because there's a glue base on that lead sheet, and we want to have that stick to the hook shank itself. So with the thread we are just going to lock the lead in place and also create a layer of thread on it so that we can use that as our base for the materials to go onto. You will see some of the glue pushes out from underneath the lead as you tighten on it. That's okay. It will be covered with materials. So I'm just going to cover the lead with a good thread base, nice and even body. Okay, so the glue that comes out is not a problem for us. Now we are going to tie a piece of scat back. I'm just cutting in a little V shape for my tying point. It just makes it easier to tie. So I start about a quarter of the way behind the eye of the hook, stretching the material to my tying point, and then I also add a piece of mono that I'm going to use for my ribbing. So with that ribbing, remember to keep the profile of the hook so that you have an even shape to your fly. With that tied in, we are going to start with our materials. I'm just going to put a little bit of wax on just to help with the material sticking to the thread. For this one I'm going to use a mustard color dubbing. This is synthetic. Seeing that you already shaped the fly with the lead wraps, we don't have to build the taper with the material on the dubbing material. So a nice even noodle is 100%. Don't put on too much. You don't want a loose dubbing noodle, so add as you go along. I prefer to have my noodle quite tight, have my materials tight around the hook so that it doesn't fray too much. We will brush it out at the end with a bit of Velcro just to create the illusion of legs and movement. Just want to fill up a bit of a gap there, and that should be it for the mustard. Okay, so when you are done with your mustard, you can just do a half edge just to secure your thread. Okay, so now we're going to do the scut back. You will see I don't pull too hard on it. I don't want it too tight, seeing that I want to cover about 50% of the body of the fly with the scut back, and the rest will stay open. So for that, I'm just going to put it over, take my thread, 1 or 2 loose turns, and then tighten down on it. Then 1 or 2 wraps in front and another one behind or so, just to make sure that it doesn't come loose. When we cut it, we don't want it to come loose and spring back to the beginning. So I'm just going to secure that. Do another half edge so that I make sure that it doesn't come loose. And now we can cut that away. So just pull on it and cut away. Now we're going to do the ribbing. So what I want to do is just check if my scut back is the same width on both sides, and then I start with the ribbing. So first a soft wrap and then pull. Another soft wrap. Pull, don't pull too hard. And I'm just advancing to my thread. So here we just secure the mono. Cut away the excess. Now we're going to form the head of the fly. For the head I chose a darker brown dubbing. This is hairs here. And I also mixed in the caddis so that we can brush it out and create the illusion of legs. That should do it. So just pull it back on the fibers so and whip finish. So then after we've done that, come in with our Velcro and just brush out a bit of the materials just to create the illusion of legs and movement. And there you have it, a Czech nymph in mustard and brown, weighted with lead wraps. Wonderful pattern, great for fishing the rivers. Thank you for watching. Tie it, fish it, and enjoy it.